Many top universities offer admission interviews. Now, these interviews are offered to students who they think are good fits for the university. Now, when given a chance to take an interview, you should probably take it. Now, even though there is no conclusive evidence, applicants who are offered an interview and do not show up don't really fare very well in the admission process. Now that we know that university admission interviews are very important, I will be talking about the interview as well as common questions on the interview as well as how to prepare for the admission interview on a whole. Now I'll be talking about all of this, so stick around till the end of the video. Let's get into it right now. Firstly, let's talk about the different types of university interviews. Now there are two major types. Firstly, informative and evaluative. In an informative interview, you have the opportunity to firstly learn more about the university, while at the same time, the university learns more about you. Now, this is the case of most alumni interviews, where you both talk about what makes the university great, and at the same time, they also figure out more information about you and what makes you a great fit for the university as a person. And they send a report to the university. Now, evaluative interviews are more important because they are a lot more evaluative in nature and a lot more questions are being asked you rather than you asking questions. Now, your evaluative interview will be considered as more important than an informative interview during the admissions process. Now, let's talk about preparation for your interview. So the most important thing is to know what you're talking about and especially know what you talked about earlier during your application as well. Now read through your complete application, all of the SOP, the essays, any Common App essays, any achievements, all of the extracurriculars and the activities you have done, everything you submitted to the university, read up on it again so that all of it is at your fingertips. Now the interviewer may ask you about your personal statement, about your application essay, about one specific extracurricular. Now whether it's about a specific hobby or a claim about one of your achievements, look through everything you have written in your application so that you will be able to answer all the questions in line with what you answered earlier. This will help the interviewer submit a proper report to the university so that he or she decides you have answered all of the questions honestly. Now the second thing to do is to completely go through the university's website and the course flow for your major. Now the interviewer may ask you many questions like why have you chosen this university? Why this specific major? Now the best way to answer these questions is to firstly completely go through the university's website and also read up a lot of reviews on websites like Niche. And you could also completely go through your major's course flow, also available on the university's website. Make notes of the things that appeal to you most and mention them. Now when you research the course thoroughly, when the interviewer asks you any questions about the course or about the university, make sure to mention the specific aspect of that course or of that university which greatly appeals to you. This will make the interviewer know that you are very interested in that university, and the report would also say that. And the admission officer would be more inclined towards giving you a seat in that university. Now you need to prepare for common questions which will come in your interview. Now a simple "tell me about yourself" question would stump half the applicants. So you need to prepare a simple answer of around 100 to 150 words for this question. Now another question like why do you want to study at this university? Now would you prefer this university to another university of somewhat the same ranking, and why? And if you're applying to study abroad, then why do you want to study in this country? What prompted you to start off your decision to start applying abroad? All of these are common questions which you should prepare for and be expecting in your interview. Now, one of the most important parts of the complete university interview process is to figure out how you stand out from the competition. Now, university interviewers are likely going to be meeting a large number of people. So you need to think about how you stand out and what kind of an impression you leave. Now, when these interviewers finish their interviews, they are going to be writing a report and be sending it to the university. Now, this report needs to be made as good as possible, and the best way to do so is by leaving an impression. Now, when they ask you to talk about a simple question like, tell us about you as a person, you need to respond with something interesting and something memorable. This is your one chance to give a face to your application and make sure it conveys passion for your field of study and your ambitions in the long run. Now we come to the final part of our preparation for the interview, rehearsing. Now, rehearsing with a friend or a family member is a great way to get a little bit of practice towards your interview. Now, do a simple Google search of the most common interview questions and ask them to read out questions randomly, and you need to answer them. This should make your final interview prep as strong as possible and make the final interview more natural, as you will be able to correct any mistakes in your style of speaking under pressure now in this rehearsal session and not in the final interview. Also, if your interview is in person, then reach the venue 15 to 20 minutes early and dress semi-formally. It also helps to reach the venue and kind of scope out the venue a few days in advance as well, so that you know the feel of your location. But if your interview is online, then again dress semi-formally, but make sure to not have any distracting elements in the background or on your clothes. Now sit in a room which you are comfortable in, and also this is an absolute necessity to have a good internet connection. Now remember, while some planning is required for the university interview, try not to overdo it. Allow your answers to flow naturally rather than doing something which is too rehearsed. This will require some practice, but it's very important for a good university interview. So if you follow all of the factors mentioned in this video and prepare properly for the university interview, it should go really, really well. So if you found this video informative, please like and share it with all of your friends, and also subscribe to the channel for content based on university applications and on standardized tests. Also, if you have any questions based on university applications or on standardized tests, comment down below as well. I will see you in my next video.